Hey. Hey y'all, it's Ayanna. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all, we are on the road to 300 subscribers. So with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. I listed them in the description box below at _ringbells on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm starting to get a little accumulated with TikTok, but not too much. Y'all, I know y'all might be tired of seeing my ponytail look. I'm between styles right now. I told y'all I'm going on a trip, so y'all know how it be doing the maintenance in between, but I get my hair done tomorrow. So I've been getting like my eyebrows done, my nails and everything. So yeah, just bear with me. I still wanted to get a video out for y'all. So y'all, and one more thing. I was thinking about doing like Tuesdays we do tea, or I don't know. I can't think of a name right now. But I was thinking on Tuesdays, I do stories that, people email into me. And then I read them on camera, with my live reaction. Just a thought. Just to, add some things to my channel. But tell me what y'all think. Comment down below. But yeah, y'all. Without further ado, this is part 2 of my girls trip gone wrong. And somebody in the comments has said, like, I was dragging it. But y'all, on this channel and my story times, like I said, I like to set the scene. I like to have y'all be in the mind of what's going on. And then on top of that, like I said, I have more story times about Clingy. So I have to set the scene and show y'all exactly like how she was moving, how she responds to things, so y'all can understand the background when y'all start hearing other story times about her. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyway, y'all, so let's get into it. So yeah, last time we left off, we had left the first bar at the club crawl, right? So we go on to the second one, and y'all, the second one was more lit than the first one. So, you had the host, we leave the first one, we all walking, talking, getting to know people. Like I said, it's people that's vacationers, people that live there, it's men, there's women, there is a group of people. It had to be, like I said, maybe 20 of us. So we get to the second club. That one is more lit with just regular people inside. So, everybody goes inside. We mingling. People in line, at the bar getting their drinks, whatever. Y'all, this whole night, what was I drinking back then? I was only drinking Henny. I don't even like Hennessy. I don't even drink Henny no more. But back then, I loved Henny. Like, all types of, like, what was those? Henny, I forget the other one. Grand Royale or some shit. Cavassier, I don't know, but those was my things. So y'all, that's pretty much what I was drinking. Clingy was drinking like more light liquors this whole time, and sister was drinking, whatever. Like, I don't even exactly remember, but I know I was drinking, like I said, mainly dark Hennessy type stuff. So we get to the bar, y'all. Like I told y'all, I think at each bar they gave us 3 shots, right? 3 free shots. So get the first shot. We mingling at this point, we having a good time. We're inside, boom, I'm talking to people, y'all know how it be. Like I said, it's a group of people, so of course you talking to guys, you having a good time. My sister was single. I was single at the time. And Clingy, like I said, y'all, she had a boyfriend. So yeah, you don't have to do anything, but we outside, it's a vibe. I'm gonna have a good time, right? So y'all, we partying, dancing, boom. I'm ready to get my second shot, and then we had like 1 more to go. So we go back to the bar. Clingy, I believe, was talking to some girl that we had met at the first one. Like, she had walked over with us in the group, so she stayed over there. We walked back to the bar. We get our second shot, y'all. Hennessy. And I keep saying that, y'all, so y'all can understand where I'm going with this. So we go back. We get the second shot. We having a good time. At this time, my sister's telling me, and she's like, what time would you looking to go in? And y'all, it was only 4 clubs. It was only 4. So I was like, we see how we feel after the third one, and then if we want to leave, we could just go back, go get something to eat, whatever, and we can head home. So she was like, okay, y'all. I was feeling good. Like, I wasn't, feeling too crazy. I was having a good, I was feeling it, but I was still fine. And I had on heels. So I was doing, from what I could tell, I think I was doing fine. So, like, again, y'all, we having a good time. Fast forward, I want to say maybe, and we were only at each one for like 30 minutes. So I want to say this was like 15 minutes into it, like maybe 20 minutes or so. They was going to be leaving in like, say, 10 minutes. The group was supposed to be leaving in like 10 minutes. So time to go get our last one. Sister decides that she needs to go to the bathroom, so she was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Yo, at this point, I was a little wavy, so I'm standing at the bar with Clingy. Sister says, Clingy, make sure she don't get nothing crazy. She been drinking Hennessy and stuff all night, so don't like let her mix or nothing like that. Clingy's like, yeah, I got you. Sister goes to the bathroom. Y'all, she gets the shot or whatever. We do our little boomer. What was we doing boomerangs back then? I was on Snapchat. So whatever I did with my little filter and stuff, real, right? We take the shot. Y'all, whole room started spinning immediately. And I know you're probably like, girl, you just don't know how to control your alcohol. Listen. Y'all, we weren't taking mixed drinks. These were just shots. We was already pre-gaming at the room. Remember, we pretty much drank in pregame the whole ride down there. Had 2 to 3 shots at the first place. Just had 2 shots, and then I have a random shot, and as the room starts spinning, I start feeling crazy. So I'm like, what was that? She was like, oh, I don't know, let me ask. So she asked the bartender. The bartender was like, oh, that was Jack Daniels. And isn't that a whiskey, y'all? I think Jack Daniels is a whiskey. And I don't drink whiskey. It was just too much. She's standing there. I was like, I'm about to go. I need to go to the bathroom. So I wander off. I don't remember. I couldn't tell at that time if she was behind me or not, y'all. So I wander off. I find my way to the bathroom. I'm calling out, sister. And she's like, Ayanna? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, what's wrong, y'all? She was in like the bigger stall, like the handicap stall or whatever. So she opens the stall, y'all. I trip and tumble and on the floor in the damn bathroom. I know, y'all. In the bathroom, my whole little outfit lit. And she's like, what's wrong? I was like, I had a shot. She said, a shot of what? I was like, I think he said Jack Daniels. She's like, why would you have that? Like, I told Clingy. I was like, well, that's what he gave. And then this is my thing, y'all. They don't just give you anything. It's not like they got it lined up on the bar. You have to tell them, oh, what are you drinking? Because you just get the free shots. You can get what you want. So why would you... Like, I'm confused. Like, you ask him, like, oh, what do you have? And then you could have asked him, like, oh, well, what's the closest thing to Hennessy? Or just get Hennessy. Like, to this day, y'all, I still don't know how she ended up getting that or, like, what. I don't know. Anyway, so she was like, well, why would she give you that? She was like, matter of fact, where is she? Like I said, y'all, I didn't know if she was behind me or not. Clingy did not follow me to that bathroom. She did not follow me to that bathroom. So sister's like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. So she's trying to get me up off the floor, y'all. She's like, you want to take your shoes off? I'm like, no. She was like, okay. So I was still fine. So I'm, getting down the stairs or whatever because it was like an upstairs. So we get downstairs. She sees Clingy. Clingy is just at the bar doing this with her on her phone. So sister comes up and then like, it's loud in there, y'all. She was like, oh, where was y'all at? She was like, the group left already. She was like, what did you give her? She was like, I didn't give her anything. She was like, the bartender gave. She was like, yeah, but you ordered it. Like, she didn't say what she wanted. You ordered it. She was like, well, I didn't. I asked him, what it was. She was like, there's no way you asked me because why didn't you just get Hennessy? So they started going back and forth, whatever. She was like, what, it don't even matter. Like, she's done. Like, now we're not even going to get to the next one because once they leave you, they leave you. So you don't even know where the next location is because the group left. So now we're just there. What a waste. So she's like, I'm just ready to get her back to the room. Like, it is what it is. Like, she's not about to, trying to walk. So we make our way outside. So now we in the front. I done took my shoes off, y'all. I'm barefoot on the ground. Next thing you know, I just start getting dizzy out of nowhere. I thought the fresh air, y'all, when I got outside would help me. That fresh air did not do anything, y'all. I start feeling dizzy, woozy. Now I'm throwing up on the side, like right in front of the building, low-key, throwing up. My phone starts ringing. I'm looking, and do he need a name? We'll name him Drake. We're just gonna name him Drake. So Drake, he looks, not his name, like I said, yeah, not his name, not close to his name, nothing like that, but we're just gonna call him Drake. So I'm looking at sister, I'm like, oh, Drake calling me, da-da-da, and y'all, he was my man. That wasn't my man, but he was my man. But we had like a weird on and off again friendship, best friend, kind of had crushes on each other, weird type of thing since we were like kids up until this point. Like I said, this is when I was like 22. So yeah, I got stories about him too, y'all. I do. But yeah, at the time, he was living out in LA, but he had went back home to visit and stay there. And for I ain't gonna say too much, but he had essentially went back so he could be home for a few days. So we just missed each other. So we was like talking because we were on one of our weird ups at this time, but we weren't really together. Like, you get what I'm saying? We was talking, but I was still doing me. He was still doing him. Y'all understand? So he was calling me or whatever, but I was too lit to answer. So sister was trying to take my phone, and I guess Clingy tried grabbing for it, and I was like, no, like, I want sister to have it. So she was like, oh, okay, like, whatever, da da da. So whatever, y'all, I'm late, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Sister has my phone now. They ordered the Uber. We stayed outside, whatever. I just felt myself getting sicker and sicker. Like, throwing up was not even helping. So we get into the Uber, y'all. I'm past, like, I can't even tell y'all, it was a blur to me. But I remember me asking for the windows to be down, and then the Uber driver kept asking, like, is she okay? Is she all right? Like, is she okay? Like, and so they're like, yeah, she's fine, da da da. And I guess I started cursing him out, y'all, or saying I was going to throw up or whatever. Y'all, he kicked us out the Uber. He kicked us out the Uber, and I heard them yelling back and forth, like, no, you're not about to just drop us off anywhere, da 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 da. Like, we don't know where we at. So I think he ended up taking us to an In-N-Out Burger. And, we get out, we go inside. Sister and I go into the bathroom. I'm throwing my life up, y'all, just throwing my life up. And she was like, she's rubbing my back. Like I said, her being a mom and all, she's rubbing my back, trying to make sure I'm cool, trying to make sure I'm good. And she was just like, yeah, Drake is asking, if you're okay, like, what's going on. I'm like, just tell him, like, I'm fine or whatever. And she was like, okay. She was like, did she ever have your phone at any point tonight? And I was just like, I don't know, like, y'all. And this is, like I said, low-key, some of this stuff is what I'm saying afterwards, because this is what my sister told me the next day. In the meantime, like, during this time, I was just throwing up. Like, I wasn't really thinking about nothing else. Next thing you know, I hear Clingy come into the bathroom. And, y'all, it wasn't like a stall. Like, it was one of those, like, by itself bathrooms. Like, they had a man, they had a woman, and that's it. And it just was one toilet and a sink. So she comes in there, and sister's like, you got food? She's like, she in here throwing up. She's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, we going back in the house now. She's like, we're going back in the house because you allowed them. So she's going off, and I'm steady throwing up. So Clinky starts yelling at me. She's like, why are you steady throwing up? You're not even throwing nothing up. It's acid. It's acid. Why are you throwing up? Like, she's like, so sister's like, stop yelling at her. Like, what are you yelling at her for? Like, if she feels like she needs to throw up to make herself feel better, let her do that. Like, she's fine. Like, you wasn't worried about it. You let them give her something that she wasn't supposed to have, and now you out there getting food and everything else. She was like, I don't see what the issue is. Like, she just needs to get it together. Like, she's doing too much. And granted, y'all, some of y'all could say, yeah, maybe I was doing too much, but nobody can control how lit they are. And like I said, you can be drinking one thing constantly. Y'all already know, once you take that one shot that's gonna put you over the top, not only was it one more shot, it was something that was completely off kilter to what I was already drinking. So anyway, I'm throwing up. They call another Uber. I guess I felt better. Y'all, we get back to the room. I don't remember nothing else. I guess blackout, boom. I'm about to say they. I don't know if they or just my sister put me in the bed at this point. Fast forward. Wake up the next morning. Y'all know, you wake up, throat hurting, feel all groggy, yeah, probably in pain. I got bruises from when I fell in the damn bathroom, y'all. So me and my sister, like I told y'all, was sleeping in the bed, and Clingy was outside on the pull-out couch, so we had a door. So I wake up, so my sister, like, she was already, I guess, up on her phone or whatever, probably just watching me to make sure I was cool. So I'm like, you good? Like, what happened? And she was like, girl, she was like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I was like, what happened? She was like, did she let them give you a shot of Jack Daniels? And I'm like, why? She was like, I don't know. I told her not to. So she's whispering, like, we're in the bed whispering. And she was like, I was about to curse her out last night. She was like, if I wasn't so focused on trying to get you good, she was like, I really would have snapped on her. Like, that's not your friend. She's like, what is her problem? And I'm like, what happened? So she's like, she's yelling at you all in the club or whatever. And not in the club. She was like, she's yelling at you when we were in In-N-Out Burger. She was like, she went and got food, and you coming in here trying to dictate, talking about she need to do this, she need to do that. She got us kicked out the Uber. So I'm just like, girl, like, I don't know, y'all. And at this point, I just had a hangover. I didn't really care. So I'm like, well, it is what it is. And she was like, yeah, well, so I'm like, well, I'm hungry, right? And I was like, I need something to drink. She was like, oh, I got you a Gatorade. She was like, and I got it last night when we came in. why Clingy y'all went and took the Gatorade and told sister like, oh well, I don't see what the big deal is. She was like, she knocked out, like she's not even gonna drink it. She was like, yeah, but if she needs it in the middle of the night or in the morning, like now when I'm asking for it, she's not gonna have it. She's like, just get another one and charge it to the room. Girl, the room is in my name. How are you just taking something that's for me and I'm in this position because of you? Just take, and never want to give. So I'm irritated about that. I'm like, okay, well, is there any more like Alfredo or whatever from what she made last night? She was like, oh no, that's gone. She ate all of that. The same Alfredo that she didn't put in, because y'all remember the last story time, the same Alfredo that she didn't even put in on. So I'm like, I thought you said she got In-N-Out burger. She was like, she ate the In-N-Out burger. Then she came here and ate the rest of the Alfredo. So she was like, but you know, and y'all, it was like real early. I want to say it was like maybe 7, 8. So she was like, breakfast was opening, I think at like 9. So she was like, I'm gonna go down there and get you something. So I'm like, okay, cool. We in the bed, we just on our phones. We didn't hear no, you know, movement or nothing. I got up, you know, I went to the bathroom, got back in the bed, still felt a little sick. Fast forward, sister gets up. She was like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs to get you some breakfast. She was getting me those waffles, y'all, because I told y'all I was in love with those waffles. So she was getting me some waffles, like some eggs and some other stuff. I'm in the bed, y'all, laid back, scrolling through my phone. I was like, oh, let me reach out to Drake. I was like, let me reach out to Drake, you know, to let him know that I'm cool. Y'all, before I can, I'm looking at my phone. He had texted me and he was like, you're weird. So that's how you moving. You out there moving real funny. And so I'm like, what is he talking about? He was like, you being irresponsible. So I'm like, what is he talking about? So I text him back and I'm like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh yeah, I heard that you was talking to, because y'all know it's a 3-hour time difference. So he was already up. So he was like, yeah, I heard that you was talking to niggas while you was out there. You in niggas' faces. You dancing with niggas. Like, you getting drunk. You letting niggas buy you drinks. So y'all, at the time, I'm looking at the messages and I'm getting mad because I'm like, who was buying me drinks? Whole time, how did you even get all of this information? Because one, who was buying me drinks the whole night when it was a bar crawl and everything was free because we had already paid for the night? So I'm like, where's you getting this from? He was like, well, Clinky texted me. So y'all, I'm looking back through my messages because I don't see no conversation where it wasn't me texting back and forth. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, she texted me. And I'm like, texted you off of what? He was like, she texted my phone from, like, she texted me from her phone. I'm like, y'all know the next question. You gave her your number? He was like, nah.
That's weird.
So you went through my phone. At what point did you even have my phone? I think that's why sister asked me that the night before. So I'm like, you got my phone, you went through my phone, you got his number, you texted him from your phone, and then you snitched on me? Unprovoked for no reason at all. Like, girl, you're mad because you can't be. And the thing is, like, y'all, to each his own. You in a relationship, whatever. I'm in a relationship. So to each his own. But you could go out there. Why would you try to snitch on me when I'm not with him like that? And you know that I'm not with him. Like, y'all, they know each other because we all knew each other prior to this trip, like growing up together type. Story for another day. But yeah, she had already knew him or whatever. So I'm like, so you went through my phone and you snitched on me. If you in a relationship and you wanted to go out there and dance with niggas and do whatever you was going to do because you never going to see these niggas again and you just having a good time because we're outside and we're lit, you can do that. But instead of having a good time, you sitting there taking pictures of me looking crazy, drunk, slumped over. Like, so did you set me up to... Y'all, so many thoughts was going through my head at this point. So I'm sitting there confused and I'm like, well, let me call you real fast. And he was like, nah, I'm busy. And then now he just had an attitude. He wasn't trying to talk to me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Sister comes back into the room and she was like, you good? I'm like, bro, why Clingy text Drake? And she was like, that's why I asked you if she had your phone, because she was like, she was just being weird or whatever. And she was like, and that's why he kept calling you. And whole time, I guess he was calling me because she had said whatever, like everything she was obviously saying to him. I was like, she telling him that I'm showing her the messages. I'm like, she's telling him that I was talking to niggas, that I was getting them, they was buying me drinks. She was like, who bought? Exactly, we both want to know who's buying drinks. Like, you just added that in there to lie. Like, y'all, she was giving Blondie vibes. So yeah, she gets the breakfast or whatever. I get up, I go in the living room or whatever, and I'm sitting at the little, little table thing, and I'm eating. I ain't care because, like I said, I don't care if she was in there asleep because at this point, you got me fucked up, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Like, she been getting on my nerves this whole, doing everything else, the makeup, the rushing. Oh, y'all was gonna leave me. Now this. Then now Drake. Like, you just been doing too much. It's like, what did you come for? Like, and then, y'all, it's my birthday. I just wanted to have a good time. Y'all, it could have just been me and sister, and we could have just had a good time and just spent more money rather than inviting somebody else to make it less money, and she's barely contributing, barely doing anything anyway. We could have did it ourselves and then got a rental and been fine. Like, every time I think back on it, I'm like, I was just not making the right moves and decisions, like, at all. So anyway, y'all, I don't care. We was in there making noise. So I was like, I'm eating my breakfast, whatever. She starts rolling around or whatever. And she, opens the blinds. And she was like, oh, good morning, sleepyhead. So I'm just looking at her. So, yeah, I'm looking at her. And I'm like, you texted Drake? And she was like, oh, yeah, because, girl, you was doing too much. Like, who's doing too much? And then she was like, you was doing too much. She was like, you was just too lit. Like, you was just acting crazy. Like, and he was just trying to check on you or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but you was texting him prior to me being that lit. Like, when and how. And she was like, well, I wasn't trying to, she was like, well, sister wanted to take your phone. She was like, but I wanted to make sure that he knew that you was okay. I would have let him know that I was okay when I let him know that I was okay. You could have, and I was like, why you ain't text him from my phone? Why did you text him off of your phone? She was like, because it was just easier for me to communicate with him back and forth. Like, and I asked her, I'm like, you don't find that, I don't think I was saying weird back then, but I was like, you don't find that odd? Like, you don't find that strange, inappropriate? She was like, girl, no, like, we all know each other. I don't care how long, who, what, when, where, why. I feel like when you know that your friend is in a certain situation, whatever, with somebody, stay in your lane. That wasn't your place, and you knew that you was doing. I was like, why you tell him that people was buying us drinks? She's like, I didn't tell him that. I told him that the bar, was giving us drinks. Like, he probably just twisted. I didn't say nothing, y'all. I went back in the room. I wasn't even feeling good. We went back in the room. I was like, well, we could get up later on and do something. So sister was like, what you want to do? And I was like, I want to go downtown LA. She was like, okay, so we could get food and stuff later. I get back in the bed, y'all, lay down. I think I went to sleep for like another hour. Get up. We start getting ready. I got a bug up my ass. Like, I was not trying to talk to Clingy, like, at all, to the point where even sister was feeling bad. Like, Yana, like, just try to keep the peace. We got one more day. Because, like I said, we got this day. And then the next day was going to be our last actual night. So, we finally we get dressed or whatever. And we get an Uber out to, what did I just say we was going, y'all? Losing my train of thought. Downtown LA. So we go back downtown LA, and now we just, we walking around, and we find a little cafe. We sitting down. So sister's like, what you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. So she's like, you did say you wanted to go get a tattoo. I was like, I did. Y'all, back then, I don't know if y'all know. Do y'all know the show Ink Master? It was like a competition show where they would have to do like different tattoo designs and stuff. I used to love that show. And the tattoo shop I had went to was like owned by one of the judges on that show. And I knew it was out there. So I was like, let's see how far it is. Y'all, it was literally like a 4-minute walk. So I was like, oh, we're going. We finished up at the cafe. At this point, my tension was like kind of wearing down because it's hard to hide it when it's just a group of 3. And I just want to still enjoy the, the rest of the trip as best as I can. So we make our way to the tattoo shop. We go inside. So sister's like, what you thinking about getting? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So Clingy's chiming in, and she was like, oh yeah, I don't know what I want to get. And I was like, oh, you getting a tattoo? She was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to get like a butterfly or da da da. And I was like, oh, okay. Small talk. And then we sit down. So then sister was like, I guess Clingy was like over like looking by somebody else's like station. It was looking like through a book, right? Like looking at different designs. So sister and me is like, over on this side, a little over here. And she was like, oh, you want to get a, she was like, you want to get matching tattoos. And y'all, like I said, me and her have been sisters since, like I said, I was like 15, 16. And at this time I was like 22. And like I said, she's my nephew's mom. She's not going anywhere. So y'all, we decided that we are going to get matching tattoos. So, Clingy comes over and she's like, oh, did y'all decide on what y'all getting? So we like, oh yeah, we about to get these matching tattoos, y'all. And I don't know if y'all could see it. Hopefully y'all could see it. It says sisters, and it has like a little flower, and she has like the matching one. So we decided we was going to get that. Clingy's like, oh, y'all getting matching tattoos? So I'm like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I thought everybody was getting something different. What's it to you? Like, what? Why do you care? So I'm like, no, like, we've been saying we wanted to get matching tattoos, and I can't really think of nothing, so I'm gonna just get it. Y'all, this girl was like, oh, I don't want it. I'm not getting a tattoo no more. Okay. Like, okay, you don't want to get a tattoo? Don't get a tattoo. Like, what do that got to do with me? I personally feel like she just started acting real lifetimey. How does one person making a decision completely alter your entire mindset? You was just over there like, I'm gonna get something. You looking through the book. You was about to come over here and tell us what idea you had of getting a tattoo. As soon as we say what we're getting now, you just shut down altogether. I don't care. I ain't feeling it anyway. Do what you want to do. So she really sat over there with a pout and didn't get a tattoo while we sat there laughing and talking. They did both of our tattoos at the same time. Wrapped it up. Boom. We was leaving. So I'm telling sister, I'm like, I'm not in the mood. Like, I don't even want to be down here. Like, let's just go back, get some food. And I just want to get in bed. We got one more day tomorrow. Like, I'm not feeling her. So she was like, okay. So, y'all, get an Uber. And y'all, side note, the Uber driver was mad cool, and he was like older. Like, he was like an older man. I'm gonna insert a clip or something right here, because y'all, he could sing. He was like, oh, do y'all like music? So we like, yeah. And he was like, well, do y'all like John Legend? We like, yeah. He was like, well, John couldn't make it tonight, y'all, and starts singing. Save room for my love, save a little for me. But y'all, side note, we ended up going to, like, he took us to Chipotle, I believe, and then we ended up getting all the way back to the room. She stayed in the living room, in her little cave, and we went in the room, you know, was watching TV and everything like that. So we in the room, y'all, just on our phones talking, and then you can hear her on the phone. So I'm like, who is she talking to? So I'm mouthing to sister. I'm like, who is she talking to? She was, I don't know. So she's like turning the TV down, and she was like, yeah, you know, I'm just irritated. And y'all know how, like, when people be fake beefing with somebody and they like to talk out loud because they want you to, like, hear them so you can make a reaction. Because, girl, why you ain't walk out the room? You have a room key, and you know we can hear you, and these walls ain't but so, you know, thin. So she's like, oh yeah, she's been acting different, talking about me, obviously. She been acting different. She was like, if it was just me and her here, you know, and not her sister, she wouldn't even be doing all of this. She was like, this the same shit she was doing back when we was in school. Because, like I said, y'all, this is after me and her being in school together, and the weird shit she was doing back then. That's why I say I be having to set the scene. So she was like, she doing the same weird shit. That's why we had fell out before. Girl, we fell out before because you are clingy. Because, first of all, you talking about oh, if it would have just been me and her. Girl, you were not. You were the third invitee. Not even the third invitee. You were the second invitee. Me and my sister had already made these plans, and had we not invited you, we would be fine. So I'm looking at my sister. I'm about to go in there and say something to her because, like, she's doing too much. And she was like, no, like, we got one more day. Just let it go. She was like, because we here. She's like, you gonna go in there. It's gonna turn into 10. Just let her be in there. She's like, she's doing that on purpose to let her vent to her boyfriend. It is what it is. I was like, okay. We go back in, turn the TV back up. Y'all, go to bed. Next day, go downstairs, get breakfast. I'm not talking to Clingy at all at this point. I was getting a little bit lit. Sister's like, well, what you want to do today? I'm like, well, I want to go to the Hollywood sign. And then that night, we was going to come back and we were going to change. And then we were going to go to this steakhouse for, like I said, our last night. That was my actual birthday dinner before we left to go back home the next day. Y'all, we get in the Uber. Clingy sits in the front. She got her headphones in. She's not talking. So me and sister in the back talking. And she was just like, I don't get it. So then my sister's like, did she give you the money? Like, did she give you the money yet? Y'all, Clingy still ain't give me this money. Like I said, to this day, I still don't know what happened to that money. So we get to the Hollywood sign. She walks off. Like, and we didn't get, like, close, but, you know, in the distance enough to be able to take some cute pictures of it in the background and stuff. Different people up there. You could see using the little binoculars and stuff. As soon as we got there, y'all, and got out the car, she just walked off. Like, just did her own thing. So me and sister standing there, we taking pictures or whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, I'm telling sister, I'm like, this friendship low-key just about to be a dub when we get back, because I'm sick and tired. And the fact that you're going to sit there and tell your boyfriend, like, oh, yeah, this is the reason why we fell out before. Then, girl, why did you hit me up to be friends again this time? So you making it seem like the only way we can be friends is if I'm not close to anybody else. Why did you even accept going on the trip with my sister if you knew that you had a problem with me being friends with other people? You putting yourself in a situation and then getting mad at the situation that it is. So anyway, well, we taking pictures and stuff. Get back in the Uber. And I don't think, we didn't eat or nothing. Same thing. Uber, drive, not saying nothing. Me and sister talking, tensions high. We get back to the hotel. Y'all, go inside, start pre-gaming, you know, getting cute, makeup, hairdresses, all of that good stuff, y'all, right? Get in the shower first. I start getting dressed. Sister jumps in the shower. Clingy never came inside. Like, I guess, like, and the thing is, though, she had to come in the room to get to the bathroom. So it wasn't like we could just keep her locked out. So she is in there, I guess, getting her stuff out or whatever. Reservations, I think, was like at like 8 o'clock. And we were going to, it wasn't that far. I think we was going to get the Uber like 7:30. It was literally like a night, like 15 minutes or so away. Y'all know how it is when you going on a trip with your friends, especially if it's your birthday. Sometimes you will show your friends what you plan on wearing. Maybe not all your outfits, but sometimes you will show them their birthday dress or whatever you planned on wearing for your birthday, because you get their opinions. How do these shoes look with this bag? How does this? I know. I had showed both of them this dress. It was a red dress, y'all. It was a straight red dress. It stopped like right above my knee. I don't really know what type of material it was, but it had like a gold like connector, like halter top piece, but it was like gold and like had diamonds and stuff, and it wrapped around, and then it was just like a red dress that came straight down, right? And I had like some nude and gold heels with a little gold bag that I was gonna wear. Knew about this outfit for like 2 months. Had got the dress. I knew that's what I was gonna wear. Sister goes into the kitchen because she wanted to get some water before Clingy was about to go get in the shower. Next thing you know, she sees the dress, I guess, laid out. So sister comes back in the room, and she was like, she goes to the door. She's like, did you know, like, did she show you what she was wearing? And I'm like, no. I'm thinking like, oh, well, she just looked crazy or something. And she was like, no, you didn't see what she was wearing? And I'm like, no, what is it? She's like, you'll see. She comes in, she takes her shower, whatever. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Getting lit, you know, it's approaching that time for us to start heading out. Y'all, out of curiosity, at this point, she should be dressed. She was on the phone with her boyfriend again. I go out, you know, to go toward the refrigerator to walk back, and I glance over. Y'all, why the girl had on a white dress, same material as my dress, and you could tell by the way it looked. Same material. It's like a crepe, you know, like, I can't think of the type of crepe paper, but it was like, I don't know how to describe it, y'all. Never mind. But that type of material it was. But hers was white. Y'all, why did it have a gold and like diamond, silver, whatever, whole halter thing back out just like mine? And hers was white, but hers flared out a little bit, but came to her knee. And she was going to wear, I believe, silver heels with a silver bag. Girl, we is not angel and devils. We is not freaking frack. We is not twins. It was giving Lifetime. Because why would you do that? And like, why would you do that? And I know y'all, girls, we always be having different rules about what your friends can and can't do on your birthday. Comment down below and tell me if that's not weird. When I've been showing her the type of dress and you never showed me, y'all, to make matters worse, when I kept asking her like, oh, what you was wearing, I knew a sister was wearing for the night of the dinner. I knew a sister was wearing for the club crawl, even though we didn't know we was doing that. Club, you know, a going out outfit. I knew pretty much what she was wearing. She knew what I was wearing. Clingy showed me certain outfits, but you never showed me that dress. Why would you? I was irritated, y'all. I was annoyed. So I'm like, oh, when did you get that dress? And she was like, oh, girl, I've been had this dress. I was like, well, why you ain't say that that's what you was going to wear? She's like, well, I just threw a whole bunch of stuff in the bag, and this is just, you know, what I packed. I was like, okay. All right, cool. We get the Uber or whatever. You know, it's time to go. We get the Uber to the restaurant. I'm not really saying nothing, y'all. Like, we had dinner. She's just on her phone texting the entire time. We trying to do toast. She's not really trying to, you know, jump in, like, get into the toast. So she's, like, on the side. You see her texting. It was just annoying and awkward. And then we get outside, and she was like, oh, you don't want to take pictures? And I'm like, yeah. So sister's taking pictures of me. She tries to get in the picture with me. I was like, I'm not taking no picture with you. She's like, why? I'm like, because why would you wear the same dress? She was like, oh, you're doing too much. You're making this such a big deal. Not everything always has to be about you. You're on my birthday trip. And I make a lot of decisions, y'all, to, like I said, make everybody feel comfortable. I'm not the prima donna, oh, it's my birthday, everything got to go my way. I've tried to be, you know, inclusive of y'all thoughts and y'all opinions. Why would you wear the same dress as me? Especially when you know the type of person I am. Especially when you know it's your friend's birthday. You don't do that. It's not even about upstaging your friend. It never gave that. It's just more so, why are you wearing the same exact thing? I just thought it was weird. Y'all, we get back to the hotel. This is our last night. So we get in, me and sister, we're packing. Clingy, same thing as before, unpacking everything, but want to drag her feet. Next morning, that night, we packing, we getting everything together. I'm looking at, what's her face? My sister, and I'm like, bro, this friendship is about to be over. Like, I'm about to really dub her when we get back. And she was like, oh, just think about it. You know, I'm like, you ain't like her this whole trip. Now you talk about something, think about it. She was like, no, I'm just saying, like, maybe, you know, you gotta have people be your friend in the way you need them to, like, they want you to be their friend. No, I don't know how to be. Like I said, I'm not one person's friend, y'all. I have different friend groups. I met people at different parts of my life, and I'm close to them in different ways. I can't just be your friend and you're jealous every time I hang out with another friend, or you're not included or invited into something. And us being friends again, I thought you got over that, because like I said, y'all, the fallout before this was what she was talking about to her boyfriend, which is a story time to come. So yeah, she don't want to pack. We go to bed. Like, I ain't say nothing to her. We go to bed. Next day, we had to be out by like 12. Yeah, 12 for checkout, and our flights was leaving at like 2 or whatever. So we get up, packing up. We left a lot of the liquor and stuff there. Y'all, what time was it? At this point, I wanted to say it was like 9. I don't know, it was past 9:30. It had to be like maybe 11, but checkout was like at 12. So her stuff is still all over the place. And she was like, well, I'm gonna just leave all of this stuff here. I'm gonna just throw my stuff in a bag and they could clean up everything else. And I'm just like, that's nasty. She was like, that's what they get paid for. Okay, whatever. So she's like, still trying to get her stuff together. At this point, it's time to leave for the airport, because like I told y'all, it's like 45 minutes away. So we trying to get our stuff. We taking our stuff downstairs. She's still upstairs. Sister ends up getting the Uber. We get in the Uber. She was like, I'm going to ask her to pay me back for this Uber. I was like, I don't even know why you did that, because you know she's not. Like, I'm just over her. Like, don't even worry about it. If you want me to pay you. She was like, I don't want you to pay me. She was like, she just didn't. I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not about to be beefing with her, going cursing you out, and while you trying to explain to me why you shouldn't have to pay. And I don't got time. She been doing too much this whole trip anyway. So she finally gets downstairs. She was like, oh, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I was like, oh, what you gonna say? We was trying to leave you again. She was like, y'all was trying to leave me. Y'all been trying to leave me this whole trip, but it's cool. I was like, if you ever had a problem with it, bro, you could have got your own Uber. I said, but you make sure you always running when you're not the one paying for it. And she was like, oh, she was like I said, if it's that big of a deal, like, I'll give you your money back. I was like, I'm still waiting for my money. So what are you talking about? I'm like, whole time doing this all in front of another Uber driver. Y'all, she gets quiet, silent. I'm like, okay. We get to LAX. My sister is leaving from a different terminal, obviously, because she's only flying 4 hours later. We're flying across the country. I'm irritated, y'all. Whole time we flying, sitting next to each other. So I'm just like, bro. We dropped sister off, y'all. Sister didn't even say bye to Clingy. Like, she ain't say nothing to her. She gave me a hug. She was like, you know, let me know when you get home. Da 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 da. And I was like, okay. So you could see Clingy, like, in the front, just like rolling her eyes, just like, y'all. Sister leaves not even like a millisecond after sister closes the door. She was like, yeah, you was acting weird. Like, you been acting weird this whole trip. I said, what are you talking about? Who was acting weird the whole trip? She was like, every single time you get around other people, you start treating me. I was like, Clingy, what did I do to you that was so bad? Like, what did I do? I was like, you done, I was like, you did the weird shit with texting Drake. You done did the whole, I was like, and I'm not even sure you didn't set me up. Like, I'm not even sure you didn't do that on purpose. She was like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? I was like, I don't know. The same way you was in there talking shit to your boyfriend. She was like, I can vent to my boyfriend. She was like, you was talking to sister the whole time. You didn't even want to talk to me. Y'all never came out there. I was like, nobody wanted to come out to that dirty ass room because you had it stinking. And I'm not even really trying to come for her. But like I said, the room, you just never cleaned it up. You just had shit around. It's not even like you closed your dirty clothes up. Like, we out at the beach, we sweating. Some of that stuff is wet. It just had a different mix of smells and stuff. I'm not sitting out there for what? And then you didn't even make it welcoming because you always had the bed laid out. So we going back and forth in the Uber. I was like, girl, it don't even matter. Like, I don't care. She's like, you started beasting at me over that weak ass $40. I said, if it's so weak, why you still ain't give it back to me? I said, we cracked one joke and you took it and you ran with it. Like, come on. Like, come on. So, and I was like, and then you didn't even contribute. Like, y'all, so we going back and forth trying to hash everything out. I'm thinking, like, okay, we're having a conversation. Maybe this will be good for us. It wasn't. She was like, you know, I don't even care no more. Shuts down. I'm like, okay, whatever. We get to the airport, get to our gate. She sits somewhere else. I sit somewhere else. So, it's time to get on the flight. We have to sit down. I'm sitting by the window. She's sitting in the middle. Y'all, I just, like, turned my head, put my headphones in or whatever, and we took off. We get back to LAX. It was snowing. Of course it was snowing. I said we get back to LAX. Leave LAX and we get back to Philly. Was it Philly? Yeah, we get back to Philly. And we my dad was picking us up from the airport. He gets in the car, he's like, oh, how was your trip? We ain't saying nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, it was fine. So he was like, oh, okay. We get back to the house, y'all. He was like, well, it's snowing, you know, if you want to stay or whatever, you can stay, you know, a little longer. We're both like, no. At the same time, we're in the car like, no. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, get home safe. You know, you don't have to leave. And she was like, nope, it's fine. It's fine. I need to go home. Yeah, you do. Y'all, she gets her bag and stuff, and she goes downstairs. She called me like 10 minutes later, like, my car won't start. I wanted to say so bad, like, what that got to do with me? But she was about to call AAA. So I tell my dad, she has to come back inside. AAA takes like an hour and a half to come. We're literally sitting in my room now talking to each other. Like, I was just on my phone. Then she, what happened? AAA came, they fixed it or whatever. So she was like, okay, well, I'll let you know when I get home. I'm like, okay. So she leaves. I'm going back and forth with sister, letting her know, blah, blah, blah. So she was like, what happened? So I'm telling her the car don't start, da, da, da. She ends up leaving. She gets home a few hours later. Boom. We don't talk, y'all, for like 2 days. Yeah, we don't talk for like 2 days or so. And then randomly, I'm in the crib, y'all. Just, I don't even know what I was doing. She texted me and she was like, oh, just as a heads up, you should probably check your suitcases and check your clothes and stuff for bed bugs. For what? She was like, yeah, you should check your stuff for bed bugs, you and sister. And I'm like, well, why would we need to check our stuff for bed bugs? She was like, because I was going through and I done found some bed bugs. So she was like, it probably was that dirty ass hotel you had us staying at. The dirty ass hotel I had us staying at, girl. You didn't have a problem lounging out and having all your shit everywhere in that dirty ass hotel, going downstairs and eating everybody out of the house and home in that dirty ass hotel. What are you talking about? So I'm like, girl, no, we definitely didn't get no bed bugs from that hotel that we would have been peeped at. Like, come on. And she was like, well, no, like, I have the bites and everything. And she was like, or we could have got it from the plane. Be fucking for real, Clingy. Like, come on, girl. So, y'all, that was like my final straw. And it had pissed me off. Now, like I said, I ain't gonna go into too much. But at this time, she had a family member that was in and out her house and couch surfing and couch hopping at other people's places before Clingy went on this trip. Before Clingy left to go on this trip, she had got a brand new bed, right? In her house, she got a brand new bed. This person came back to the house after 2-3 months of couch surfing through other people's, homes and stuff. That's how you get bed bugs. Just saying. Tells the person, family member, oh, don't sleep in my bed. Like, I just got this bed. I don't want you in my bed. Like, don't sleep in my bed. Family member's like, yeah, okay. You leave for a week. You don't think family member slept in that brand new bed? Come on. And brought those bed bugs there and got those infested into your stuff. But just, to be precautious or whatever. I said that to her. I was like, that's where you probably got it from. She was like, you know what? You're trying to come for my family. You're trying to do this. I'm just trying to give you a heads up. I was like, thanks for the heads up. But I'm telling you, like, you told me this information prior to. That's more than likely what the case was. Like, why are you getting mad at me? She was like, I'm sick and tired of this. Like, I'm over this. Like, she was like, you chose a side so you could stay there. Girl, okay, so did you. But y'all, just to be safe, me and the sister, I told sister, and she was like, okay, let me go prep, So we did our little 1-2. Never no bed bugs, y'all. Nothing in the suitcases, nothing in my clothes. Never happened. So the way she got them is the way I said it. Y'all, we didn't talk for like another 1.5, 2 years after that. We just cut each other off, just stopped talking. And then, we ended up becoming cool one more time, y'all. And then the one more time is when we had our actual fallout. And that fallout was because of Lying Larry from the He Flew Me Out story time. We had a falling out over him, but that's a story time for another day. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this part 2. I know this one probably had a little bit more action than the first one. So if y'all feel like I'm dragging it, my bad. But y'all, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me, wasn't Clingy giving lifetime? Like, isn't her name fitting? But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all. As always, I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace. Hi.